Hi, my name is Debbie from Alamo Weddings and Events, and I am the Chief Wedding Planner and Designer at Alamo. I'm here to talk to you today about picking your bridal party. So I have 6 very important tips about picking your bridal party and ensuring that you have a successful wedding. I've gathered all of this information from experience as a wedding planner, experience as someone being in the bridal party, experience from the internet and watching trends and watching other family members and friends pick their people for their bridal party. So tip number 1, go with people who are close to you. This is something super important. I've seen a lot of people just fill in their bridal party just to find someone who can fit the dress, right? And this person ends up being the worst person to put in the wedding. So my tip is pick someone or people who are close to you. This goes for the guys and for the girls. Pick someone who you talk to very often, someone who can push you, pray with you, support you through different things that happened during the wedding planning time. Tip number 2, go with people who have money. Tip number 2, go with people who have money. Go with people who can afford to pay for their tux, their suit, their shoes, their dress, their hair, their makeup, pre-wedding engagements if you need them to be there, things of that sort. Go with people who are financially stable. Now, it might be difficult to go with someone who's close to you and who is financially stable, so that may mean you may need to step in. That's just a gamble, you have to take. But go with people who are financially stable. Weddings are expensive, okay? They can add up and they can be super cheap depending on, the route that you take. So going with someone who can definitely afford to pay for certain things is super important. You want to make sure that they can definitely, contribute in the ways that you need them to. So pick people who can definitely do that. Go with people who support and love you. Now, they can be close to you and not support and love you. So make sure that they support and love you and that they exhibit that through their actions during the wedding planning process. Through talking to you, praying with you, making you pick certain things that will work for your wedding. This is super important. Make sure that they also support and love your fiance. Because if they're not supportive of your marriage, then how can they support you and walk down the aisle right before you walked out? Food for thought. So also go with people who are willing to pick up pre-wedding engagement activities, such as bachelorette, bridal party, brunches, dress or tux appointments to see how it fit, bridal parties, wedding showers, the night before the wedding activities, things like that, right? Someone who is definitely down for the cause and who knows their role and their responsibility as a bridal party member. Now, if I'm your wedding planner, I will definitely give your bridal party a tip sheet on what to do and what not to do, especially if they don't know what to do, right? Because you don't want to have to plan everything on your own. You want to be excited about this process, and they should be willing to chip in and make sure that this works well for you. You shouldn't have to do all the work, okay? Next tip, have at least one family member in the bridal party. This will help the wedding planner like me. I love it so much when there's one cousin, a sister who can help coordinate all the family and all the people who are super important for pictures or tell them exactly where to sit or where to go. So helping the wedding planner or whoever is in charge with these pre-steps, the person in the bridal party, this definitely helps to alleviate the stress. And last but not least, do not overdo it. It leads to stress. Okay, I've done the biggest bridal party count is 25. Why? It's too much. Okay, not to say don't do it, because that might be exactly what works for you. But when you look back and you say, I didn't really like her, she got on my nerves, he just had a bad attitude, he was drunk the whole time, why do it to yourself? Really pick the people that are important to you and don't overdo it, okay? Not to say that we can't do it. We can plan weddings with bridal parties with 50 or 60 people in it. It just takes a little bit more to manage. but it also prolongs the preparation stage during the wedding. So hair, makeup, getting tux, getting pictures, things of that. It takes just a longer time. And if you want your wedding to be on time, it's best when it is smaller because it's easier to manage and there's less prep time for certain things, which keeps us on track longer. So really be mindful about picking those type of people. Now, the way that you can do this is by making a list, okay? Making a list and saying, this is a list of everyone that I know, like, and trust and who I'm close to. And you can keep them or you can chop them down by going through the, do they have money? Are they willing to take initiative? Do they have a lot of kids? Can they take on any new responsibilities at this time? Are they newly weds or are they newly engaged? Do they have a wedding they're planning too? Can they afford this? There's so many questions to really think about when coming to this that you can really help to figure out if you can or if you want to put them in the wedding. Now, there are ways where you can figure out who to put in the wedding and to use them just in a different capacity. For instance, what about an usher? What about a greeter? What about someone who makes a toast, right? What about someone who reads a scripture during the ceremony? Someone who does the opening prayer. Give them a very vital role that is not so much high commitment for them where they don't have to come out of pocket, especially if they cannot. This would still help them to feel like they're inclusive without putting them in such a terrible position like change the toilet tissue in the bathroom. Don't do that. That's wrong. But if you give them something else that's super meaningful to you, like opening prayer at the wedding or at the reception or scripture reading, I think they would feel like they are still a part of it. So make your list. Check it twice, and don't forget to take your time when making your selections for your bridal party. Thank you for watching. Follow us on Instagram at Alamode Events Inc. And you can also send over questions if you have. You can inbox us and drop your questions. Thank you for watching.